So good afternoon, everyone. So in our last class, we saw how to work with Oracle. So we studied different commands like how to create a table, then how to insert data into the table. So later we saw few of the commands like to get the list of all the tables created by the user, then describing a table, then to check the data that is present in the table, and also the deletion of table. So deletion of table is done through drop command. So today we shall see how to create two more tables. So that is department and admission. So in order to create a department table, so let us write create table department, open parenthesis. So let us declare name of the department as a variable character varchar. So along with this, we had intake. So let us declare it as an integer. Then university, and let us make it as varchar, and degree, varchar 25. Okay. So here we can declare the primary key or unique key also while declaring the table itself. So let us declare primary key name, that is a department name, as the primary key. So since we have a name attribute in student also, often while building the application we may get confused when we saw this attribute name. So it may belong to a student table or it may belong to department. So hence, so what we do is while building the application, we will make sure that the names of the attributes are bit different, are easily identifiable. Mm. So we can add a D over there, D name. So D name indicating it is a department name. So here also primary key of D. Then we shall close this parenthesis and we'll try to create a table. So table is created. So we can see its description. Department. So yes, we got the description over here. All the attributes, their data type and length. So if you observe here, it is primary key. So next we shall insert few values. So the command to insert the values is insert into department values. So here department name we must specify in a single code. So let us add, that is CSE. Then intake, it is a integer. Then university, it is VT. Let us give it degree. So that is D. Okay. Then let us quickly add few more departments. So like I'll add electrical, then let us add MCA, So now all the three rows are inserted. So if I try to insert this MCA once again, so it should raise a error, that is a unique constraint because the name is repeated. So now let us create the next table. So that is admission. So admission. So admission table had the attributes, that is the USN, where okay USN we will declare it as a character of 10. Then we had a department name, so let us give it as a D name. As a varchar of 25. So along with this USN and department name, so our admission table so had the attribute, that is the quota. So quota is added. So along with this, so we had um, one more attribute, that is the PUC percentage. Okay. So let us declare PUC percentage as integer. Okay. So now here in this particular table, we need to decide which is the primary key. So here, if you observe, the USN values will come from the student table, whereas the D name will come from department table. So what we do is, we will together declare USN and the D name as the primary key. So with this, it indicates just USN and D name is the primary key of this table. But still, according to the schema, there should be a relationship between the admission and student table. If we just simply put this command, it just indicates that admission is a standalone table having a independent existence with USN and department name as the primary key. But it is not actually linked to student and department table. So in order to link them, we have a concept called as foreign key. So foreign key. Now we have to declare. So if we want to uh, establish a relationship between tables, then we have to use the keyword foreign key, and here we must specify which attribute. So USN attribute, we are declaring it as a foreign key, and then we need to specify to which table it is referring to. So using a keyword references student, and in the student table again we need to show which attribute it is linked. So in student table also it is USN. So this is the how we will include. So along with this, so we have one more foreign key. So that is a D name. So D name references department of D name. Then we will complete the creation command. So let us try to run this. So table is created. Now let us try to describe this. So describe admission. So you can observe over here. If you look at this, both of them are together it is a primary key, which means their combination is a primary key, not the standalone attributes. So now, whenever we specify foreign keys, there should be an order in which we create the table. For example, first we created the student table, then we created the department table, and then we created the admission table. But if we change this particular order, the order in which we create the tables, then this foreign key will throw us an error, because when we create this admission table, now student table is already there, department is already there, so there will be no issues. But what if the department table is not present? So if department table is not present, then this particular statement will throw a error message stating that we don't have department table in this particular user account. So let us also try that. So let us drop table department, and also let us drop admission. So department I will, okay, we cannot do it. So admission I will drop first, and then I will drop the department. So now let us see what are the tables we have in the user account. Select star from tab. So okay, only student table is there. So don't worry about the remaining tables. So these are the deleted tables that is present in the recycle bin. So you can see over there bin. It is with the prefix bin. It indicates it is in the recycle bin. So it will automatically thrown out after a certain time duration. So the only table we have currently in this particular user account is the student table. So now we will try to create the admission table. So ideally what should happen? So when I try to create the admission table, so I have the foreign key, so it will check whether the student table is there. So if it is there, then this foreign key passes successfully. And then when it checks the department table is not present. So it should throw us an error. So if you observe here, table or view does not exist. So this error message we are getting because the department table is not present in the database. So, and one more thing. So in Oracle, when we are working, the error messages, whatever we get, they will not be fully in detail. So they will just be like this. By looking at this error message, we will not get to know whether department table is not there or student table is there. So it will not describe in detail. Okay. So, but it is our responsibility to identify them. So why we got this particular error? So we got it because department table is currently not in the database. So what does we learn from this? So it is that before creating the admission table, we must create all the table it is referring through a foreign key. So which are the tables that is being referred through a foreign key? Student and department. So both of them should be created first, and then admission table can be created. So now once again, just look at it, admission table. When I try to execute it, so it is showing a error. So now I will create the department table. So table is created. Now what happens? Admission table will also get created. So now admission table is created. Now let us look at all the tables present in this user. So you can observe over here student, admission, then department is present over here. So whenever you are creating a table, you must create all the tables before giving the creation command, which means all the tables that are being referred should be created first. But the same thing, whenever you are deleting or dropping the table, it should be in the reverse order. Now again I will show. Before that, let us insert some values to the department table as well as the admission table. Okay, so let us insert data into the department. Okay, so before inserting data into the admission table, we must have a look at the data that is present in the student table. So yesterday we created 4 students record. Now let us insert into admission tables using this command. Okay, so admission, so which is the first attribute is the USN. And now when I am specifying the USN value, whatever I specify in this insert statement, that should be present in the student table. So which means I can use only these 4 values. I can't use any other value apart from these 4. If I use any other from this apart from these 4, then the Oracle will raise an error telling that that particular USN is not present because it is a foreign key. So the meaning of foreign key is whatever value we put for this admission should be present in that particular table. So the second attribute, so CSC, so let us put the quota as CET, and then what's the last attribute in the admission table? So it is PUC. So let us put it as yeah, it is an integer value, so 90%. So let us try to execute this. So this particular row is inserted. Now so let us try to put one more admission value which is not there. So let me give it as EC, and here also let me change it to ECE. Yeah, let us try to insert it. So now there is a error message. So what is this? Integrity constraint violated, parent key not found. So which means the foreign key concept which we created, so that has established a parent and child relationship among the tables. So parent key means for this particular USN attribute of the admission, this student USN will act as a parent key, right? And for dname, the department dname attribute will act as a parent key. So both should be present in those respective tables. So if they are not present, we will get the error. So now let me change this to CS only, but let me keep the department as okay. Let me make it as 18CS001 and the department is EC. Now let me try to insert. So if you observe here, again it is showing a error message. Why? Because the department which I used over here, ECE, that is not present in the department table. So let us see that. Select star from department. So I have only EC electrical MCA. So since that, so I got an error message that ECE is parent key not found. So that's why whenever we want to create or insert the data into the table for all these foreign key values, that should be present in the respective parent tables. Okay. Now, so this is how we create three tables. Now let us learn one more concept today. So in student table, so I have four values, right? So let me try to insert into student values. Okay. So I will specify a USN over here. So 4JN 18CS030. Okay. Then name I will not specify. So I will just give it as a blank. Then I will specify the mobile number, okay, and email ID also I will specify. So I have specified this thing. But is this allowed is the next question. So here it is blank. Or what if I don't specify that attribute itself? So instead I have just put a comma over here. So nothing is there. So let us try to insert this and check what happens. So it is giving missing expression. So I'll just put this single quote over there. And then let me try to insert. So if you observe here, so it has inserted. But can we have a student without name? Now let us check the value of this. So if you observe over here, there is a dash. But in reality, does any student exist without name? No, right? So we cannot have a student without name. So what we have to do? So for that purpose, we need some modification in the creation table so that this name field cannot be blank like this. So that is the concept we have is when we don't have a value for an attribute, then we will call it as a null value. So null is a keyword in DBMS. It indicates the value of an attribute is not known at the current time. So while creation of the table only, we can specify whether null values are allowed for an attribute or not. For example, consider a scenario while getting admitted to the college, name cannot be null because name will be present. But what if a student doesn't have a mobile number or a mobile, or even let us imagine they have not created an email ID. So which means null can be allowed in mobile and email, whereas it is not allowed in name. So that's the difference. So how to specify the name or how to specify a null value? So let us insert one more. So here let us give a some name and mobile number. For some reasons we don't know. So what we can do is we can specify it as null. So let us try to run this. So if you observe here, so it is inserted. So let us check the values. So you can observe over here that is this ABCD mobile number is not known to us, so it is dash. So here I specified it as null. So similarly, for email ID also, if we don't know any value, so we have to specify a null. Okay, but there are some attributes for which we should not allow null, such as a name. So how to do it? So for that purpose, so we need to put this particular condition while we create a table. So since I have already created the student table, so I will just demonstrate it in a department or in university. Okay, let us take this as an example. So similarly, here is this department. So in department, so department name, it is a primary key, so we cannot make it as null. Whereas intake or university or degree, so they all should be present at the time of the creation itself, because everything is known. So intake cannot be null, university value cannot be null, and degree value cannot be null. So how to specify this? So this we can specify while we create a table, that is, so look at the statement over here. So here we have department creation. So what we have to do is, before putting this comma, we have to put the keyword not null. Okay, intake integer data type followed by not null. So this we need to specify in front of all the attributes for which we don't want the null values to be entered by the user, right? So in order to once again create this table, so I need to delete the admission table, and then I need to delete the department table, and then again I need to create the department table. So before that, let us quickly look whether the current uh, department table takes the null values. So null, so university also I will not specify. Okay, so degree I will specify it as BE. Whether this will get inserted. So currently it will get inserted because we have not yet added those condition. So if we look at the data that is present in the department table, so you can observe a dash over here, it indicates it is null. So now in order to avoid this null, we need to execute or create this particular table. So in order to create that, so I need to delete the existing table. So I cannot drop the department table in the beginning because it is being referred by the admission table. So I need to first drop the admission table, then I will drop the department table, then I will create the department table. Now the department table is created. Now if we try to describe this department table, if you observe here, the nullable column was present in the beginning. Here you would have observed a tick mark. Apart from primary key, for all the remaining keys, all the remaining attributes, earlier there was a tick mark. Now it is dash. It indicates that none of the attributes in the department table can have null values. So now can we insert this ISE null blank? No, it is not allowed. Cannot insert null into this one. So intake cannot be null. So let us do this. Now will it take? So yes, once again, we cannot insert null value into university. This is the username, table name followed by the attribute name. So for university, we cannot have null. So we need to specify some values. Okay, so now it is inserted. So this not null make sure that the attribute will not take the null values. Okay, so I think this is sufficient for today's class. So we learned the creation of the remaining two more tables, then how to create a foreign key, when we have a foreign key, the parent tables first we must create, and then we must create uh, the table which is having a foreign key. While dropping the tables, we should follow the reverse order. First, the referencing table will, referencing table will be deleted, and then the parent table should be deleted. And one more thing here, that the question that may arise for all of us is, each time when I am making the changes to the table, which means the when the structure of the table is being altered or changed, whenever I'm adding a primary key, or whenever I'm adding a foreign key, or whenever I'm adding a condition that is not null, we are deleting the table, right? So in real world scenarios, so this is not the case. We need not delete the table, but without deleting the table also we can change its structure, and that command is alter command. Okay, so this alter command is in itself is a uh, large topic. Okay, so that we'll study entire alter command in one class. Okay, so once we study this alter command, then we need not delete the table every time when we make the modifications. Okay, so that's it for today's class. So whatever concept again which we studied in today's class, so you practice them. uh, uh, a dedicated slot is present for practicing the laboratory things. So all this you practice in the Oracle you have in start. Okay, so while practicing you create a few more tables, and just have a look at how the Oracle works. Okay, so you can enter your names in the chat box and exit.